All right, we're recording. Okay, so hello and welcome to the August edition of The Good Chat. To those who join us for the first time, The Good Chat is a conversation hosted by a team member of Tribute on fashion matters. And it's also our way to stay connected with you all. My name is Joelle Fiersley. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Tribute Collective. I'm also a fashion researcher and historian. Today, I'm excited to have this very intimate conversation about lingerie with Stephanie Jasek. I hope I pronounce your name right.
Yes, yes.
And Stephanie is the founder of Le Bustier. So please, Stephanie, could you please introduce yourself, who you are, and what you do?
Hi, my name is Stephanie Jasek, and I am owner and manager of Le Bustier Boutique located in Adams Morgan in Washington, D.C. And I've been operating this boutique for next month will be our 7 years anniversary.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
I can't believe that time flew by. Like,
So can you tell us a bit more about your journey to those 7 years with Le Bustier?
I guess my I came from a background of healthcare. I worked in healthcare for a number of years, so this is actually my second career choice. And I moved to the DC area around 2012, and I was thinking of, continuing on that path. And then I realized that I didn't have the passion to do what I would have been doing for years. And I've always wanted to have a lingerie boutique because I've always been fascinated by lingerie, just the intricacies of the lace and the details and the silhouette. And actually, my mom is the one who introduced me to that. She's always getting me pretty undergarments, and I was just so in love with it. So I decided, and one of the main reason why I decided to um, start this business was because I was actually looking for a piece of garment for myself, some lingerie, some garters.
Oh, nice.
And I was like running around, going to all these different stores, lingerie department stores, and I'm like, oh my God, this can't be the thing that you can't even find a garter belt in DC, something that's fun and sexy, but also comfortable. So I that just prompted me, and I'm like, maybe this is the time where I'm kind of in between, jobs to kind of, maybe this is my next thing to do. So I started to do some research, and the more research I did, the more I fell in love with the idea of having this um, French-inspired lingerie boutique in DC that has all these beautiful, lingerie from all over the world, and just to introduce this whole idea of woman being sexy and feminine, and especially with their lingerie, instead of what we normally know to be like, oh yeah, you need a bra, a basic t-shirt bra. And I'm like, I want a basic t-shirt bra, but it shouldn't look basic. I want it to be beautiful, feminine, with beautiful lace, practical, but still sexy, and not something that my grandmother wouldn't even wear, that type of thing. So that took me on this journey. And when I started the boutique here, it was like, oh my God, is DC ready for sexy lingerie? I just was, I'm like, I know that the city is, supposedly conservative. I'm like, I know people are not that conservative. And I know people should be open to having beautiful lingerie. So
Mhm.
so that's kind of the attitude I took to get me started. And I've been here for 7 years, and a lot of my clients, they love it. People come in, like yourself, you come in, and so fascinated with all the beautiful things and just feel really empowered to wear them. And it's everything that I thought it would be and more, because there's so many women who comes in and get that feeling that even their regular clothes doesn't do that,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I must say that,
having,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I never seen, I mean, I think you're the only shop like this in DC. I can't even think about another one. So, who sells, um, you know, well established, sexy, beautiful
Hmm.
lingerie. Yeah, I think you might be I mean, yeah, I haven't seen something like that in DC
Yeah,
at your shop.
because one of the things that I set out to do was not to own a bra shop. I don't like the idea of a bra shop. I
Mm-hmm,
wanted a lingerie boutique that,
mm-hmm.
when women walk in, they can feel comfortable, and when they walk out, they can feel confident
Yes.
and sexy and empowered. And that's what I wanted to do from day one. So I tend to even market myself as a lingerie, not a bra shop, because I
Yes.
just think it's a big difference.
So talking about that, that's a good segue. I mean, lingerie, I say it in French because it
I love the
derives.
way you say it, by the way, lingerie.
Well, it is, it is derived from the French word "linge," which
Let-
means basically laundry, and
yes,
it's a direct. I think that it's also, or linen, basically, also
yes,
it's a direct reference to the material on like from which underwear was traditionally made. And then I think that by the late 19th century, lingerie had this is when lingerie become a more generic term because I think before that
yes,
they used undergarment. Um,
exactly.
and because lingerie moved to a more practical function, from a practical function basically to a more erotic, way
Yes,
to actually to display the body. And today, underwear is also referred, and I love that term, as intimate body fashion, but also as a second skin.
exactly.
So as a whole, when you talk about lingerie, and it's also it touches upon what you just said, like what inspires you about lingerie? You said that you don't want to open a bra shop only, but what is it about lingerie as a whole that inspires you? And how important
Um,
for you? I like even talking about your mother introducing you or
yes.
giving you that love for lingerie. So yeah.
So, I what really inspires me about lingerie is how the reaction it emotes from somebody who's wearing it. It's like you could you could have maybe a t-shirt and maybe pajamas or something, but you body and you automatically react a little bit different when you put on this feminine, these lace, this light as the air garment on your skin. It just emotes this um sensation that is, I think that even putting on a regular dress or a nice dress doesn't get. It just makes you feel good about yourself. And I love the fact that when women put on a piece of lingerie, she immediately touches herself, not in a weird way, but just
That's
caressing her
actually,
breasts
yeah.
and just like, being aware of how she looks in it. And that's what really inspired me, like, just the silhouette of how a lingerie could make any garment look so much better, you know? And I really, really love the reaction that women, even themselves, are surprised of when they put something on, and immediately I can tell that they are loving it, they're loving the way they look, and they're feeling really well. It's because of how their reaction. They started to look at themselves differently in the mirror. They started to pose. They started to touch themselves. They touch their breasts. They caress themselves. And there's nothing better than that, I
That's so
think.
beautiful. Yeah.
Because immediately they started to love themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing better than that. And I could tell just by the end of that, they walk out and they feel inches taller, their shoulders are back, they walk out with a sense of confidence that they didn't walk in with. So that's what really inspired me, how women react, how it makes women feel. That's what really inspires me. And of course, all the beautiful lace and the intricate details.
The beautiful pieces.
Exactly.
So going back to history, for 4 centuries, women were corsets basically, and
Yes.
those corsets were reshaping and also blurring the borders between the body and the undergarment, making the visible, and I love that, making the invisible more important than the visible, because I mean, wearing a corset, you're quite aware that you have to sit in a way, you cannot move in a way, so
You can't hunch over.
exactly, you can hunch over. And after that, lingerie was also, even if the corset was this very stiff structure garment, it was simple, especially in
Yes.
comparison to the opulence of the outer clothing that was made back in the 17th and the 18th century. And also, women used to wear simple t-shirt, white t-shirt, same as men, that we called undergarment, to protect themselves from dirt or sweat. And I love those things when you see the intricate decoration around the cuffs or the collar, the embroideries. But needless to say that we shifted a lot, especially during the 19th century, where at the end of the 19th century, we start seeing more decorative and luxurious lingerie being made. They were colorful, more risque. And then the 20th century, and as the ideal of the feminine beauty changed, and I think that's my question to you, like, we become less voluptuous, we lose a corset, we become slimmer. Paul Poiret, the French couturier, introduced the brassiere with, a boneless corset, less structure. And then you have modernism and, the flappers of the 20s. It's quite fascinating how, same as in fashion, lingerie changed with the movement and the culture
Yes.
that
And the technology
and
as
the
well.
technology, exactly. So then you have the pin-up of the 50s, which, I mean, I don't know why the 50s are so, like, they resonate with pin-ups and the push-ups. Then the 60s with the lingerie becoming also following fashion, more
Mm-hmm.
colorful with pattern, and the rise of that set that did not exist before, the panties and the bra, and the no bra movement with the feminism also.
Exactly.
So it's kind of fascinating. How do you see, or let me phrase, yes, how do you see pieces today illustrate important development in fashion over time, and the change in silhouette and the ideals of beauty? Because we agree that beauty ideals have changed and shifted. So for you, how do you see that, and how did lingerie evolve in parallel with all of those changes in beauty ideas?
Well, it's a really good question. It's one that, you have, as a historian would know all the changes over all these decades. But I do think that
And I had to summarize and resume because we can
yes,
because we
because
can talk about it
this
for
could be
hours.
like this
Yeah,
could be like psh.
exactly.
um I mean, I do think that with each decade and the changes, I mean, I would say lingerie and everyday wear kind of goes hand in hand sometimes. And sometimes I do find that lingerie will have, like, in terms of stylistics and colors and patterns, really drives everyday wear, because I see where for a season you have these patterns and colors, or a color palette, and it's the next season before you see it in everyday wear. So I do think that lingerie tends to drive some fashion. I mean, popular culture, it all plays, because we all remember 50 Shades of Grey, where
Mm-hmm.
everything in lingerie for the years after were just like strappy bondage, So lingerie is always adapting and changing with each decade, depending on what's going on in pop culture and everything else, just because in the sense, it's like, it's, Madonna, when she came out with that bra in one of her tour, that Jean Paul Gaultier bra, that was amazing. Everybody was like, in the lingerie industry was like, wow, what is
Yes.
that? But I also think that lingerie, it changes and adapts, but it also set trends, you know, with lingerie changing from just the corsets and all, and the brassiere and the panty, into uh bodysuits
Mm-hmm.
and things that you could wear in, but also wear
Yes.
out.
Yes,
You
exactly.
start out going to work having a jacket, a blazer, a bodysuit, a blazer, and by the end of the evening, you're at some wine bar, having a cocktail with your blazer off, and you have this beautiful bodysuits, are on, and that is, you could wear in, you could wear out, and so
I think you said it quite well. Lingerie tends to drive some fashion.
it
And
does.
and that you can see with Madonna and Jean Paul
Yes,
Gaultier, you can see with Jean
yes,
Galliano and Dior. Like, there is a
yeah,
whole couture collection that is only about lingerie, and
right.
yeah, so lingerie became outerwear.
Yeah, and also because lingerie drives some trend, because even with the outer inner wear in lingerie, like the basque, people are thinking, for this woman who can purchase this basque, do we want her only to wear it inside?
Mm.
Because if you make it too, like, say it's not camouflage enough nipples, and you know what I mean, if you make it too see-through, then she can only use it inside. But then if we make it with more lace, and she can wear it outside with a pair of jeans or a pencil skirt or whatever. So it tends to drive a lot of the fashion industry, where people are making things to show, sometimes show you have a beautiful bra. So I'm going to make a top that is sheer, that this woman can show it off. So it does tend to drive. If she wear a corset, maybe she'll be able to wear this bondage dress that I'm going to make, because this if she's going to wear a corset or shapewear or something that's slimming, then she can't get away. So I always think of lingerie as the foundation of a house. It's always gonna drive what you put in the house,
Mm-hmm.
because, and if the foundation is no good, then it's no good, right? So I've
Yeah.
always think about lingerie as the driving force and the starting force, and it changes everything. It changes how women dress. It changes what they choose to wear in whether it's fashion or just like leisure wear or something like that.
So do
And
you?
now the lines are really blurred between leisure wear and some
Yeah,
lingerie. Yeah. So it's
exactly.
always driving.
But exactly, and you start seeing more artists or singers wearing lingerie. So do you think also that, I think, I mean, I want to talk about trends a little bit. And so, like, how do trends work in lingerie? Or is that like when you buy your lingerie, do you think about trends? And do you think also about, my customer can wear that also in many different, like, so for me, let's say when I buy a shirt, I think about the many different ways I can wear this shirt. Does
Right.
that work the same way with lingerie, or is it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because for me personally, when I'm choosing stuff for the boutique, I mean, there's different things you have to choose,
Mm-hmm.
and you go to different people to fit those needs, because I have needs, because my clients have needs, different needs. But when I'm purchasing, especially pieces, not so much, the bra and panties, but when I'm purchasing like bodysuits and corsets and maybe a blouse, because we do have some pieces here, which is, it's a top, but it's the lingerie, it could be a little smock, it could be a little something. I do think about how my client is going to use this. I don't like to purchase something that is going to be just for the bedroom. I mean, there are things just for that, but I'm always thinking about my client. They're budget conscious as well. Do they just want to buy something for maybe $100 and it just sit there, or they want to spend that money and buy something that they can use a lot of times instead of just one time? So I'm always thinking about that. And my clients, they do like to have those options where they can have one piece and use it multiple times.
Yeah, versatile piece. Yeah.
Very versatile. Like even some of our robes and stuff, our kimonos, you can wear it in, you could wear it out. And those are the things that people are looking to do, different things with what they have.
Yeah. So now moving to a more technical question. Can you tell us what is a well-constructed bra?
Okay, so a well-constructed bra has to accomplish a couple things. First, it has to be comfortable. It's a bra that is so comfortable, like you're not going to whip it off at the end of the day as soon as you walk in the house or as soon as you get in the car, because you've been like in a torture device all day. So the first thing is not to have something that feels like it's a torture device. It has to be comfortable, it has to look good, and it has to be well made. And well made meaning that you watch it a couple times and it's going to fall apart. No. So the construction, and if you have a good constructed bra, that bra is going to do a bunch of things. It's going to fit you beautifully. It's going to lift your breast without pads, right? Without it being heavily padded and you need that pad to push up. It's going to automatically be engineered in a way where the wire and the fit of the bra is what's doing the job. It's going to lift you, it's going to support you, and it's going to make your breasts look better than when you're not wearing a bra. That's the whole idea. So it needs to look good. It needs to fit well. It needs to be comfortable. And you shouldn't have to compromise on style or look just to make a bra for a comfortable bra. You should have it. You should have all of it. It should look good. It should feel good. It should be attractive. The wire, if it's a wire bra, the wire should not poke you. You should be wearing your bra all day. You don't even have to think about it. You have a bra all day and you keep poking at it, picking at it, touching it, adjusting it. It's not a good bra.
Good to know. Okay. It does make sense. So what would be your 5 must-have?
For 5 must-have in terms of lingerie or bras?
Okay, let's start with bras, because I do own a lot of bras.
Same here.
Maybe I keep them for too long. That's also another question that I had for you, is that what's the best way to wash a bra? What is the best way to conserve a bra?
The best way to wash a bra is hand wash.
Of course.
You hand wash it and you let it drip dry. Think about those ladies in past decades. They didn't put their delicate items in the machine. They hand wash them and hang it over the rail in the bathroom, right? Because I remember my mom washing her stockings and her slips and her pantyhose and her bras, and they'd be hanging in the bathroom over the shower curtain, right? Why did they used to do that? Because that's the best way to take care of them. If you put them in the machine, especially with all the delicate lace, it may survive a couple wash, but eventually it's just gonna wear it out. So I recommend hand wash. And some people
So
say,
hand
but I
wash.
have a bag and I put it in the washer. I don't even do that. I hand wash it.
Okay, so hand wash to preserve it and to keep it for longer. Now,
Yes, and preferable to use a mild detergent. There's a lot of lingerie wash or even Woolite is okay. In terms of 5 bras you need to have, I
mm-hmm,
think all women should have 5 bras. And the reason for 5 bras is because there is you can rotate them. So you're not wearing the same bra every day, 7 days a week or 6 days a week. You can rotate them, and this will allow them to snap back because the elasticity in the bra needs to rest so it can
mm-hmm.
snap back. But
Okay.
if you have a bra and you wear it every day, it's just gonna be worn out. And
Mm,
in a matter of 3, 6 months, you're gonna need to replace it. Now,
okay.
if you have 5 bras, personally, I have a lot, but each woman basic should need a black and a nude, say, t-shirt bra,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of folks like to have a smooth t-shirt bra that they can wear with, jersey, t-shirt, anything perhaps smooth shape. If they're
Mm-hmm.
working in a conservative office, they don't want to have anything with seams or anything like that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't believe in that, but most people do. Most American women do. The second one is everybody need a black lacy sexy bra,
Mm-hmm.
and that should be a set, and
Okay.
that should be a bra and panty set, and if you're up to it, a garter,
Oh, nice. Of course. If
right,
you're up to it.
with some stockings. The other bra, you should definitely have a colorful bra that say is your favorite color. Whatever your favorite color is, you need to have a bra that color, because that's the bra you're gonna put on when you feeling the blues, or you look outside, it's gray, and you wanna just have a little bit of a pop or a little bit of a happiness going out. That's the bra you're gonna reach for, and then you should have a strapless bra,
Of
because
course.
with a strapless, and it doesn't have necessarily be strapless, it can be convertible,
Mm-hmm.
so that you could wear those things in your wardrobe that doesn't need to see the straps or anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
those are the five basic.
Okay. And
But
what
for me and you, we're gonna have a few that's a little bit more.
I mean, I think also it's a question of, and I want to ask you that question too. Is there an expiry date on bra? Because I tend to keep my bra, even if I don't wear them anymore for like, because I just have, maybe it's my first bra, maybe I don't know, maybe it's a gift.
Right,
I have bras that I tend to keep in boxes. I don't
right,
wear them. Also, it's crazy because, and it's so beautiful because you look at your bra, you see also the evolution of your own body. And we talked about
exactly.
that last time I saw you because I
Yes,
got my size wrong. And
yes.
after 1 year of like not changing bras. And so, yeah, I think it's like clothing for me. I develop a very, like a strong emotional connection to my bra.
Attachment. It's the
And
same thing. I have once in a while I go through and I try to get rid of some of my stuff. And what I do is like I remember when I didn't wear bras for a while because I
Mhm.
thought I had the perfect boobs and but when I get in my 30s, I'm like, okay, I need to start wearing a bra. But I've always loved them, but I have them, but I would be like, oh, I don't have to wear one today. So once in a while I go through and try and clean up, but then I find a beautiful bra that I love, but it doesn't fit anymore because, I was a
Yeah, yeah.
32D, now I'm a 30F, they're just gotten bigger. So what I've done is like gift them
Okay.
my
Oh,
family, to my little cousins and stuff who are just coming out with their, wearing their first bras. And I really love the idea of just seeing them, how they just light up with a pretty little thing that they never think they would have.
that's
But I
such a
do
great
have the same
idea.
problem where I hold on to them because for
Yeah.
some reason it brings back those memories of the first time you wore it, and you're hanging out with your friends and stuff. So I've been gifting my little bras to my to my cousins, my little cousins.
That's such a great idea. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that.
Yeah.
It's so consider like it's such a great idea.
Because it's,
I thought
if
doing
you
that.
think about how pretty they are, how you cherish them and they still look good, because sometimes because you have a lot of bra, that bra may not be, you probably only wore it a couple of times,
Mm-hmm.
but now it doesn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I do the same thing at the boutique. I donate bras to the shelter at Tribe DC. So if I have
Okay.
clients, I'll take their bras. I'm like, you can't wear this anymore. I'm not letting you leave the store with it. And they're like, oh, I have some more that doesn't fit. I said, bring them in. And as long as they're in good condition, then we give them, we
Yeah.
donate to.
It's a sustainable also
Yes,
idea.
yes, yeah.
Okay, I think I have one last question for you, the COVID question.
Oh my
How,
God.
so I want like, what is it first, what is the future of lingerie, especially given, you know, the current state of the world today with COVID and how was it for you to, run a small shop, a small lingerie shop during COVID, where a lot of women stayed at home,
Hmm.
stopped wearing bras, or
Right. So wearing pajamas and
mm-hmm,
sweatshirt.
mm-hmm,
It's funny because during the shutdown, um, we were closed, but my the phone was forwarded to my cell phone, so people would still call to inquire when we were open and stuff. And I have to say that I was a bit um, nervous
mm-hmm.
because, of course, we've never gone to anything like this before. And I was wondering, will people ever come back to lingerie? Because, in the beginning, people were focusing on food and toilet paper. Remember those days?
I remember those days. Toilet paper, yes, I do remember.
Toilet paper. I'm like, what? Toilet
Yeah.
paper?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, people probably won't shop or won't come back, but people were calling because I just think that lingerie is one thing that, it's the closest, most intimate thing to
Mm-hmm.
your body.
Mm-hmm.
And after being home for 3, 4 months, 5 months in the shutdown, people realize they want to feel good. They want something that feels good because, and the woman who came back and who comes in, book an appointment during this time, I've always asked, how is it, how you doing with COVID and all that. And a lot of people are doing boudoir shoots because they just want to feel good. And they're like, it's a little bit depressing. It's a little bit, you can't do much, you can't go anywhere. And some ladies who are working from home, they're working from home, but they still want a good bra. They still want to have good undergarments because at the end of the day, it makes them feel good.
Perfect.
So that's my mantra. It makes you feel good.
So we're hopeful that will continue. Women will continue to,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I was worried because of course I mean this is my first business. I've never have a business during a pandemic. I don't know. I'm like, are they gonna come back or people just gonna be focusing on essential things? And then I realized lingerie is kinda essential.
Exactly.
Kinda is because
Yeah.
you still need to wear good undergarments at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day and you still want to look good even if you're in home and you're at home and then you realize I can't be just walking around every day in sweats. I have to put something else on, so it makes them feel good.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that, you're celebrating your 7th year. So
Oh my
happy
God.
pre-anniversary.
Yes. And
Uh,
normally every year we'll have a anniversary party but not this year, so I have to think of something else.
Maybe we'll do a Zoom
um
party or something.
yeah. Or just people come in, give maybe a discount party or something. I don't know, but it's definitely not this.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
Well, thank you so much, Stephanie,
it's
for being
always my
with us.
pleasure. I like the way
Uh,
you said Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, sorry. It's yeah, the French is not going anywhere,
You
unfortunately.
know, I was trying to learn French, but it's hard.
Yeah, but
I was doing Babel. It's hard
I
because I'm
know.
not. I'm not constantly doing it.
Yeah, it's a difficult language. But thank you to all to for listening, and we'll see you next month. And don't forget to
Yes, thank
subscribe
you. Thank you for
and
having me. It was.
go check Le Bustier. Can you remind everyone of the address?
It's 1744 Columbia Road, Northwest. We're in Adams Morgan. We're across from the safe one, the second floor, tucked in there. It's our little gem.
Perfect. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you for having me and have a good evening.
Thanks, you too.